Hello guys, once again it's Ethan here from ESDR. Today I'm going to bring to you guys a Tri-Brigade deck profile, as I mentioned earlier in the community post. Yep, they have suffered a I would say a consistency hit on the last ban list, but still I think it's still a pretty good deck, pretty fun, consistent as well. With and also with the release of DHero, which basically everyone adopts. Definitely help out, and there's some changes on the playstyle as well. So on this deck profile, I'm going to go through my main deck, extra deck, and also the side deck as well, so be sure to watch at the end of the video. And I'm going to showcase some of the combos for the updated Tri-Brigade, because we are now with the Fusion Destiny, we don't end up with the silver bullet anymore. So there's certainly some changes you need to take note. Without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. Disclaimer though, for the deck list for Tri-Brigade, I think it's pretty much at a very stable point. So as you can see that like all the deck lists across the webs are like mostly alike. And in this video I will talk about it on why do they adopt certain number of copies of those cards. Hopefully you have some takeaways from it. And okay, starting point with the Tri-Brigade monster. Right, 2 Tri-Brigade kit, 3 Fractal, 3 Noble, and 2 Keras. Alright, Fractal, your best starter, searchable of Tanky. In OCG we have 2 copies of Tanky, which means we have 5 copies of Fractal. The best starter, the best opening hand you want. And then only 2 kit, because although we are playing Rescue Cat, but still this is like not a very good starter card, say. And also we adopt the card which is called Foolish Burial, so this is not much necessary anymore. And third copy only comes out if you are going into something like a grind game or what, which currently we are not doing so for Tri-Brigade nowadays. And then 3 Noble, because it's your searcher, so, and also it's searchable of Shrek. So I mean everything is searchable of Shrek, but level 1 is the most that came up most often. So play at 3, and then only 2 Keras. You don't want to open up with this unless you open up with another copy of kit. Bring in the hand going first, unless you want to overextend. So yeah, just clear at 2. Yeah, keep in mind that the current Tri-Brigade is like we are not playing a mid-range style anymore. It's like we are trying to going first. We're gonna set up a board, and then on turn 2, back to our turn, we like to OTK already. There's we don't intend to grind anymore, so just like a quick game. Get what I mean? Right, just 10 copy of Tri-Brigade monster, and then Rescue Cat. Need to do this allows you to make it to bigger boards. If your hand is just opening up with Fractal, is not, you are most likely going to end up with only a Bad Bloom and also Fusion Destiny if you haven't drawn it. And then it's nice. Since we're only playing 4 copies of valid targets, you are most likely going to resolve only 1. And then I'll showcase the combo of it later on something you have to take note. This is nice. Based off I mean, you can definitely like base off Ash from your Tanky or Fractal first, and only normal summon this. And then of course we are still playing the Zoodiac package, because it's absurd going second. For material, Sky Thunder is OP, and instead of Cataros we are playing the Ram right now, because the current best deck in OCG is Phantom Knights, and also Prank Kids. So negates the Fog Blade and also Impermanence. So yeah, I think it's far more superior than the Catters. And then not to mention that going first, without with this, it can this is a one card Vortex Anaconda. Well, so which is nice. Sometimes you can just normal summon, send your Ram, and then overlay into Shaka Knight, revive, and link them off to the Vortex Anaconda. Sometimes DHero Fusion Destiny, DHero Phoenix Enforcer is all you need going first. And you often want to like summon out your Phoenix as early as possible to thin out your deck, because you don't want to draw off those bricks later on. Speaking of bricks, true, this is the fusion material for the Phoenix Enforcer. I think these are the best one for this deck. Draw 2, nice. OP. Because you know Tri-Brigades tend to shuffle off cards back to the bottom decks. I mean, you tend to have very less amount of cards in your hand, so this is always came alive. And then also the Dasher, summon of another monster that you drew in the draw phase, which is also nice. And then the main thing for Tri-Brigade is the synergy of let's say synergy. It's one thing that other decks might jealous about is the Frigid, which can shuffle off the bricks back to the deck, which is not many decks can do that, which is nice. Because you always summon this, link into Vortex, shuffle back your bricks, and then go into Fusion Destiny. That's more of a play you can do. And then for the hand traps, one Nip, triple Ash, and triple Maxi. This is self-explanatory. It's like a flex spot. Nibiru, because it's nice, because some people like they try to like push for games under Maxi, or just hoping that you don't draw into your Nibiru. So this is like if you have Nibiru in your deck, there's certainly a chance, but if you don't happen to have, you're not going to draw any great hand traps of Maxi when they're attempting to push for games and OTK, I mean. So yeah, that's it for the monster. Yeah, nothing much to say about it. I think it's pretty standard all across the list on the web you can find. There's nothing that I would like to change, just maybe I will include more hand traps in the future, depending on how the meta shifts. Yeah, this is how you should play Tri-Brigade nowadays. Alright, for the spells, for the 1-up, I'm playing one Foolish Burial, one Barrage. I know TCG banned this card, but in OCG, luckily we still have one. But going first, definitely side this out. And if this ever got banned, I'm not sure if I'm still going to play Zoodiac in Tri-Brigade. But I think the Tri-Brigade Zoo is still safe for the upcoming bannies for OCG. And then for the 2-ups, to Tanky, to Cowboy, to Cross Out, and yeah, it's nice. You can search for Vector or Judah monster, and then trade negations. Now that both of these are being semi-limited in OCG, so I played at 2 copy each. Not really much to say about it. And then the cards that everyone is playing right now: Forbidden Droplet, maxing it out for a few reasons. First off, it shut down two of the most adopted engines in current format, which is the Brave Token and Phoenix Enforcer. A quick play spells is always nice. And then I'm sure you all know it's synergized with Tri-Brigade monster because it sends your monster off to the graveyard to prop their effects. And yeah, definitely a great card. Yeah, going first or second. Going first, you can set it up and just interrupts. And lastly, the last 3 spells, which is the Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny, it's nice to hard draw it because you can just link into Bear Bloom, summon this out, activate this, pop your Phoenix Enforcer and Bear Bloom, so you get a search off for the traps, the Tri-Brigade Revolt. Because you cannot summon out monster other than Dark Hero monster after this resolve, so you need to keep in mind. Definitely OP, given that you have Dasher and Celestia with kind of like an assurance of your follow-up plays, and it just floats, which is nice. And not to mention, everyone is playing 3 copy of Forbidden Droplet, so which makes Revolt less impactful, because of the time you summon out Shurek, they can just like droplet you. Yeah, I get my point, so it's less relevant now. Speaking of Revolt, I'm only playing 1, mainly for the reason that I mentioned just now, Forbidden Droplet, and in the beginning of the video, we are not playing the mid-range anymore. We are trying to go for games as soon as possible. As also, we are playing 40-card decks, which makes things we are very compact now. We have no much space for the second copy of Revolt, I would say, and I'm not really missing the second copy of it. And not to mention, we are only playing 2 Shureks, so sometimes we are running out of Shureks to go for when you're resolving your be able to play a second copy of Revolt, which makes things even mediocre, so just keeping it 1. And lastly, the 2 Imperm, just generic hand traps, which is nice. Even works when you're going second. And also with the rise of Flanderies, definitely a good card to adopt. And that's it for the main deck. There's nothing much I would like to change as of now. As mentioned, it depends on the current meta game. I think the key cards are all fixed already. The amount of cards, like 2 copy of Kids, 2 copy of Rescue Cat, only 2 copy of Julia Monster, playing 1 Foolish Burial and 1 Barrage, and 1 Revolt, 3 Droplet, 3 Future Destiny. All these things are like fixed, so the rest is like a flex spot. Yeah, let's get right into the extra deck. Alright, starting off with the extra deck monster, Phoenix Enforcer. Very OP, very annoying to deal with. You can imagine it as a reincarnated Zoodiac Drident. As a pop, and also plays around Maxi, in the sense that if your opponent ever Maxi you, just summon up Phoenix Enforcer and pass. Those are nice. And then for the Link monster, for the Tri-Brigade monster, we are playing 2 Shurek, 1 Frigid, 1 Bear Bloom, and 1 Silver Bullet. Only 2 Shurek because we are not playing the grand game. 1 to summon out of Revolt, and 1 in case your first Revolt get removed by your opponents, and your turn you can summon out the second copy. That's all you need. And 1 Frigid. You definitely need 1 because of the Rescue Cat, and link it off to this. And then mulligan effects is nice. You can put back your bricks or whatever you think is not necessary. And 1 Silver Bullet, mainly as a stepping stone to access Code Talker, because we are not playing the Doom Eagle anymore. So I think a link tree is definitely necessary. And then 1 Bear Bloom, yeah, just 1 enough for a few reasons. Firstly, we are playing only 1 Revolt, so we're going to resolve only once. And then if you ever hard draw your Revolt, which is also nice, it means you get to save up your Bear Bloom, because Bear Bloom is a key card to go for games because of the special summoning effects from the Banish Pile, which is more often than not how you go for games. And then 2 Link Force, the SS Code and Apollosa. SS Code self-explanatory. Apollosa, you're less likely go into this unless you know that what your opponent's playing, notably the Drytron or yugioh or even Phantom Knights. Yeah, just go for this. This is much of a trade as compared with this in certain matchups. So you have to justify yourself on whether you want to go for this or just the usual plays of Revolt and Phoenix Enforcer. And then for the link choose, one birthday and one double Dragon Lord. Double Dragon Lord is nice to have a bounce, because sometimes you just want different kind of interruptions. And then birthday, broken card, they are very easy to go into. And then lastly, monster is the Mirage, allows you to play around your opponent's Phoenix Enforcer. It's nice. Then lastly, since you are playing the Zoodiac 4-axis monster, as you can see here, it took up a lot of space, which result that we couldn't play like 3 copies of Shurax or 2 Frigates, because this package took up a lot of space. But I think it's necessary, because sometimes you shut down your opponent's monster with Forbidden Droplet, but you still have to clear it off. You don't have to expend too much of your resources to clear your opponent's board. One junior monster will do. That's it for the extra deck monster. Let's get right into the side deck. Alright, for the side deck, firstly, one DHero. I appreciate this card a lot in this deck. First, because it's searchable of Shurax, and it's a BBW, which can be a banish off from your Tri-Brigade effect monster. And then 2, Throw and Lockbird is necessary in this format to shut down the Bravestalker engines, or to prevent Drytron to go into some shenanigans, some rogue decks that searches a lot. This is just more effective hand traps, I would say. Although it's dead under the Dimension Shifter, so keep that in mind, especially when you are going against the Flanderies. And then 2 Wind Kaiju, because with the rise of Flanderies, so this is definitely nice, because this deck basically loses to the M-Pen. You want to like just remove it before you're going off your combo. So Kaiju is generally nice. Just Kaijuing off your opponent's Phoenix Enforcer means they can't revive it anymore. And then yeah, there's a lot of targets you would like to Kaiju. I choose to play a Bin Kaiju because of Bin Barrier Statue. Although I'm not that afraid, because I can always go into Double Dragon Lord. But still, sometimes I just want to go for games. And then last 2 monster is the Lancia. Also a generic traps, shutdowns auto stack for a turn if they rely on banishing. Notably Phantom Knights. This is nice against Flanderies as well, because I definitely want to throw it on standby phase, because they are playing a lot of pots. So it shutdowns all those pots. You make sure all their Flandery monster is not banished while leaving the field, which prevents them from plussing. And also for a mirror match, obviously. Then for the spells, a triple Twin Twister and 1 Harpy Feather Duster. This is a last minute choice, because I found out this deck loses to back row decks pretty hard, notably Lich, and some even playing the Zombie World, which also like just totally turned this deck off. I want to have more back row removal to ensure my plays are not interrupted. Twin Twister over Lightning Storm, because this is a quick play spell. As I mentioned in my Thunder Dragon deck profile, you want to have quick play, which is better for a few reasons. One is because of the King of Sky Prison, which prevents set card being popped. But since you are a quick play, so once they are flip up their floodgates, notably those continuous traps, you can just snap it off from there. Not to mention, there's a lot of spell traps which can only be activated during the main phase, so you kind of want to like snipe it off during standby. And then one more reboot to address those back rows. And then the last 3 traps, which is the spell negation cards, which is nice, especially going first. Although Mystic Mind got banned, but they wanna like to prevent your opponents from Forbidden Droplet, your Shrek is activating during standby. Also, you can shut down all those brief token engines, which is annoying. And not to mention, this deck kinda loses to Sky Striker, so wanna have some. So this kinda helps you to compensate a little bit. Yeah, that's it for the side deck. I think side deck is like pretty subjective. It's based on your environment, based on your understanding towards the current metagame, on what cards you would like to adopt. And here's my take for this deck in this current format. Speaking of combos, let me showcase some of the updated combos I would say for this deck. Is a pretty easy one. Red 2 meal of Ram, then overlaying to Chakanai to revive Ram. And then over here you can choose to overlay into Tiger Mortar before linking off to Birthday to have at least like you guarantee have a 4 copy of materials in your grave. If you ever happen to hard draw the Tri-Brigade Revolt, overlay into Tiger Mortar, then only you link it off to Birthday Anaconda. Because since when you went into this combo, you don't have any Zoodiac monster anymore, so that's why you don't mind to expand your Tiger Mortar. And then Birthday to send off Vision Destiny to your Phoenix Enforcer. Alright, for Rescue Cat, obviously if this ever resolve, it's huge. Of course. And then going to Frigid. Effects. Effects. Search off for Fractal. Versus Summon. There's many kinds of things you can do from here. If you already have Reward in hand, that means you don't have to go into Babylon anymore. I would suggest you to go into Verte Anaconda. So in that case, this can be linked into Verte. So maybe you can just summon out a Double Dragon Lord as a form interruptions, then only link it to Verte. This is when you open up with Reward. So if you open up with Future's Destiny instead of Reward, you will most likely want to go for Babylon. So there's 2 ways. One way is like you banish off all 4 of the materials for Shrek, and then you link it off to Babylon. That way you get a search off from Shrek and search off any level 4 or below. This kind of plays, make sure you have a card to shuffle back off when you want to search off for the Revolt. And then from here you activate Fusion Destiny to summon out DHero. From here you activate its effects, you can either pop these 2 or even these 2 cards. And then you can chain block opponents, search off Revolt, and shuffle back 1 card back to the bottom deck. But since we are only playing 2 copies of Shrek, sometimes you don't want to go into Shrek from here. So you just banish off 2 monsters only instead, go into this one. And then from here maybe you can link into Silver Bullet. And then you activate Fusion Destiny. Send off, summon out 1. The effect to pop these 2 cards. To search out for Revolt. If you don't happen to draw into 2 of these, you can still go into it by banishing into Babylon. And then link it off to Verte. and then from here you can shuffle off 1 bricks to hand, and then activates birthday to sending off this one, summon out Phoenix Bossa, and then effects to pop these 2 cards. You can chain block, and then you can search off a reward, which is nice. So that's it for the deck profile. This is the my take on the Tri-Brigade Zoo with DHero. Still pretty fun, still pretty consistent. Definitely still going to help you win games, but against some of the top decks like whichever that adopts Brave Token, you still have a hard time going against them. Or they are definitely losing their crown spot after the release of Brave Token and also the ban of Drident. You can still definitely bring this out to the any competitive scene, and then it just depends on how many practice you took to master it, and then the key thing is to like you interrupt at the correct point, and that is based on your experience and your understanding on the other decks. Yeah, that's pretty much it I would like to say. Thank you guys watched until this point, and please give this video a like and share, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because that meant a lot to me. And that's pretty much it. See you guys in the next one. This is Ethan signing out. Bye.